Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We've got a 1KD here in a Hilux. I think it's a 2000 and there you go, there it is, 2013. It's here for a possible injector, likely. It's booked in for injector replacement, EJAR clean, that sort of thing, and a 150k service, which will be the big front engine job and all that sort of thing. So a big job, that's for sure. But I've got to quickly tell you, right, what we're going to do. We're going to go for a drive in a minute. I've got this new thing, it's a head cam, I'll show you in a minute, but just as much as if you are going to buy and replace injectors, I certainly want to sell them to you and provide them so you can get it right the first time and all those techniques and procedures. But just as much as I want to sell you those injectors, I don't want you to waste injectors and replace them unnecessarily. So this gentleman said, oh, can you have a listen to it, see. So we're kind of like, if it doesn't seem, if the problem we got is there's a lot of different rattles and noises and things like that. Now, so we're going to try and, I don't know how much we're going to hear in a video or not, but we'll go for a drive and I'll discuss it and I'll try and explain, what noises we're concerned about or not. I haven't driven this vehicle yet. It's stone cold. We've got the scan tool hooked up ready to go to have a look at the readings also. It's got 149,780, so 150,000 Ks on it. This is the head cam. I'm going to put the camera in that and you get to see where I look. So going to get the engine started, get out the driveway, and then we'll roll the camera. Alright, so I've just started the car and this is head cam, so I don't know if it's any good or not. I don't know what you can hear. Sounds pretty good to me. Have a quick look at the readings. I don't know if you can see them, but the other diagnostic videos have got that. This is more about going for a drive and having a listen to it cold. I can't see anything amazing going on there, so I'm going to get it out on the road and hit you then. Look, we might do the cold one in another video, but because what I noticed was it was quite a bit more noisy when it was cold, but the main thing with this one was that the rattle was there at light acceleration up to about 1900 it's sort of worse from about 1750 and then 1900 cut out. So the part of the video I'm going to include is the part that goes for about 5 minutes at full operating temperature. So that way you're not, is that because it's cold? This is the have a listen to it and explanation when it's fully warmed up. Let's have a listen to it. And sorry about the head cam, it's a bit, made me feel a bit sick too when I watched it again. Okay, so the clients asked me to have a listen to it, right? And what I've noticed once it's at full operating temp is you accelerate, and as soon as you get to a certain RPM, and I'm not going to know exactly what it is because I'll be looking at the scan tool and trying to show you on the camera and everything at the same time, but I'm going to shut up and you just listen. So I'm telling you, as soon as it hits just under 2000, the rattle stops. Just got to wait for a car. I'm not going to indicate because I normally do, but $17.50, 1900. Got to back off now. I'm going to run into him because he's doing a bit of window shopping. That's okay. Display home, so that's what you do. 1750. 1900. It just goes off like a switch. Now some people ask about that one and they say, is that injector? Well, yeah, there's wear on the injectors, but there's also a characteristic of the vehicle that sometimes they do that, and they do vary from one to the next. So I can't guarantee that that's going to absolutely stop, but from changing the injectors is probably going to reduce the actual rattle there. Like there is varying results is what I'm trying to say. There's no absolute. So let's stop and do that again. So I don't know if you can see the revs. I'll try and get back like this. Right, no cars coming. Right, so one thing for sure is, it's sort of light acceleration, of course light, because if you went heavy, you'd go over to do some doughies while we're here, someone else did. Oh, that was me earlier actually, before I started the camera. No, just joking. No, I missed the old two-wheel drive, mate. Get out there. Bop, 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 bop. No, just joking, of course not. That wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. No, Ossifer, I didn't do it. Okay, so like I said, this is a quite bit of road we got where we can do these things, but it's getting busier and busier. I'll be quite honest, you know, we used to be able to road test up and down, you know, Rattles, it was a corrugated dirt road. But yeah, it's all changed. You can see all these people window shopping around now. So a bit further down, we've still got dirt road for now. There's a few other dirt roads around if we need to use those. Okay, what I want to say is, when it's rattling at 1750, it's got a rattle, but there's also a bit of what you'd better understand is what we call pinging noises, pre-detonation ping noises, you know, with a petrol engine when the fuel octane's low or the leads or plugs aren't right and the combustion's not right, you get a pinging noise. You don't really get it that much in diesels, but it's there a little bit as well. So, you know, my guess with this one, it's probably had the injector lines off at 40 or 80 or 120, you know, the contamination thing. Yeah, and it's got, now, if anyone's ever put unleaded in, that wears the nozzle needles as well. So I'll shut up again. Quite clattery till it hits about 1900 revs and it just cuts off. Just going by the RPM needle on the dash. Again, people in a hurry, so we'll just get out their way and it gives us another opportunity for a stop start. There's a slight tapping hammering with it as well. So although I'm not saying it's really bad, it's not ideal. So yeah, if it was my vehicle, I'd certainly replace the injectors, because these are the full DLC type and I would like to get a bit longer out of them, but you're only going to get that if they don't get contamination and the wrong fuel and these sorts of things that seem to be happening. So look, hopefully that's helped, guys. I don't know if we're done in the video. If you got something out of that, if you like head cam, please give me the thumbs up. If you learnt something out of that, I don't want to waste injectors, guys. We don't want to sell you injectors if you don't need them, but of course if you do, we certainly do, because we want you to get it right the first time. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've just come back from the pre-injector replacement job road test, so I'll just recap it again. I've said in other videos, first thing we do is give it a good wash down, a good clean up with the cover off. That gets washed, it's obviously drying or dried. This gets blown dry, it gets driven to get the heat through everything to finish off the drying, and now it's parked in the bay. That it'll get worked on usually the next day, in this case, a couple of days later, whatever. So it's going to be parked here for a while, all the engine oil is drained down. Now I'm just going to go over it and do a quick inspection on anything I can see to see if there's any evidence of the pipes being off before, so I can let you know that in the video, because it is a big contributor, obviously. Now, looking at the valve cover, bolts, I don't believe the valve cover's been off before. Looking at the bolts, could be wrong. Let's have a look around this side. Just trying to work out if, you know, someone's had the pop. We know more once we pull it apart and do the job, because, you know, when the pipes have been bent, they pop up like what we call a jack in the box, right? There's no oil leaks to the valve cover, there's no marks on the bolts. The clamps don't look like they've been over tightened. It looks original. I can't, you know, again, you can't get to it till you get the intercooler off. More videos, so subscribe and wait for those. There's no nuts and bolts missing. There's not a mark on the nuts. I don't believe these injectors have been out, so it's kind of a bit disappointing that, you know, possibly the wrong fuel's been through it at some stage. This looks all factory to me, guys. It really does. I could be wrong. I'm only spending a minute on it to have a quick look. There's nothing, all the clamps and everything, other than this dodgy aftermarket fuel filter setup with that rubbing on there and whatever. Other than that, it doesn't look like it's been messed with or touched at all whatsoever. It's a good vehicle, right? So that's the positive of it all. So the conclusion of this video, I suppose, the idea was to get you to have a listen, and what worked out well was the noise. You could hear it really well, but I think for these videos we'll stick with, you know, I wanted to do the head cam, so then you can kind of see, well, you might see me in the rearview mirror. Go back and have a look. But anyway, you can see what I'm seeing if I look at the diagnostic tool, but I've got to be honest, my eyes can move without my head a lot of the time too. So, you know, obviously it doesn't work that well. So it's more of a, we'll use it on that on our touring channel when we're out, you know, doing videos out. That'll be pretty good. We might get to test that out soon. So stay tuned if you're not on both channels. The outcome with this is, I believe the injectors are making some noise. It's really cool the way it just cuts off at 1900. If it could only do that all the time. So that is a characteristic, but what I'm listening to is when they're making their noise, what noise they're making and how much. And I still think it's not really bad, but it's not normal, and it's making some little bit odd noises there that you'd be cautious of. So look, based on averages, it's time to replace. 2013 vehicle, it's 2021 now, so they're 8 years, 150,000 Ks. If you've seen Dave's Diagnostic and Dave's, you know, we did his injector job, the seats were leaking at 150,000 Ks as well. Then you see the one we're working on at the moment that needs an engine at 230. So where do you want to be? Somewhere back closer to 250. Our recommendation is 170, 180. So this vehicle, you could probably wait a little bit longer, but then again, I don't like those noises. The injectors aren't going to be working as good as brand new ones are going to be. And for that every 8 year peace of mind, you know what I'd be doing? Replacing the injectors. So thanks for watching. And if you need injectors, whatever, if you've got an old 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, they're the ones that I'd be hot. I don't need to see any readings. I don't need to know anything. I don't care if it's blowing smoke, making noise or not. If that's got original injectors or you don't know the history, they need to be replaced, in my opinion. What would I know though, right? If you've got a 13, a 12's a question mark, because we don't have to. The full DLCs I would have liked to get more out of them, but you're going to get more in kilometres, not age, right? So 8 years, you're going to be changing them, to be quite honest. Of course you can make it go to 9, 10, 11 years. There's people that leave the old fogged injectors, you know. Again, we're talking about 2008 120s, it's 13 years, they were still running. Depends how good your luck is, okay? Anyway guys, I hope you get the gist of it. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the head cam. Please don't give me the thumbs down for that. Please give us the thumbs up for the effort and trying, and please subscribe, turn the bell on. Better videos coming your way. I hope that helps you understand a bit about the rattles. I know it's even hard for me. So thanks for watching guys. See ya.